Welcome to Market Architect Capital Research. We're looking at a significant escalation in the Middle East. On February 28th, the United States and Israel launched coordinated strikes against Iranian targets. The scale, the timing, and the strategic logic behind this operation, all of it requires careful analysis. So what actually happened? Israeli officials announced a 4-day intensive air campaign as Phase 1. U.S. officials said the operation would exceed last June's strikes in scope. We're talking about approximately 30 targets hit across Iran: Defense Ministry facilities, Revolutionary Guard command centers, national security infrastructure. Tehran was struck. Southern and Western military installations were hit too. Iran claims senior military leadership has been relocated to secure locations. Now here's what's really interesting about Iran's response. It came within 1 hour. Dozens of missiles were launched toward Israel. Compare that to last year when Iran waited 15 hours before retaliating. This time, almost immediate. Tehran also threatened U.S. military bases across the region. Iran's National Security Council chairman framed it this way: "We did not open this path. War was imposed on us." So what is Israel actually trying to achieve here? 3 goals, in ascending order of difficulty. First, destroy Iran's nuclear infrastructure. This is the minimum viable objective and the easiest to justify internationally. Second, dismantle Iran's missile production capacity, particularly medium and long-range systems. Third, trigger regime change. This is the hardest to achieve and carries the highest risk. The critical question is whether any of these are actually achievable under current constraints. Now, more importantly, Trump faces the November 2026 midterm elections. A protracted Middle East war would directly contradict his America First brand. His core base already opposes extended foreign interventions. If this operation drags into summer, domestic political support will erode rapidly. A long war fought on behalf of Israel, not core U.S. interests, becomes a political liability. The rational path for Trump? A short, high-profile strike followed by a declaration of mission accomplished and de-escalation. This is a political operation wrapped in military action. So can Israel achieve its objectives? Let's assess each goal. Nuclear facilities? Iran has dispersed and hardened its nuclear infrastructure over 2 decades. Key sites are underground. Centrifuge facilities can be relocated. A 4-day air campaign will inflict damage, but not eliminate reconstitution capacity. Missile production? Iran's defense industrial base is decentralized. The Ukraine war offers a useful comparison here. After 2 years of Russian strikes, Ukraine still produces its own drones and munitions. Short-term bombardment doesn't destroy industrial systems. It disrupts them. Regime change? This is the least plausible. Iran's supreme leader is not a personal dictatorship. The position is elected by an 86-member assembly of experts under constitutional procedure. When Ayatollah Khomeini died on June 3, 1989, his successor was elected by June 4. The system is designed for continuity. External strikes don't automatically collapse institutionalized governance structures. Here's the real risk: escalation without resolution. If Israel can't fully achieve its objectives and Iran retains retaliatory capacity, we enter a cycle of tit-for-tat escalation. Israel faces prolonged high-alert military mobilization, which strains economic activity and social stability. The United States risks being pulled deeper into a conflict it didn't want and isn't prepared to sustain. This is not 1991. There's no clear victory condition, no coalition, no 6-month buildup. There's a U.S. election cycle and a regional adversary with strategic depth. So what should we be watching? The key variable isn't battlefield damage, it's diplomatic signaling. Does Iran respond proportionally and stop? Does Israel declare objectives met and pause? Does the United States broker a face-saving off-ramp? The first 72 hours of this operation matter less than the next 2 weeks of positioning. If both sides want to de-escalate after the initial exchange, this remains a limited operation. If either side miscalculates or refuses to back down, this becomes a regional crisis with no exit. So here's the bottom line. This is a scaled-up limited war experiment. Objectives are clear. Achievability is uncertain. U.S. domestic politics favor quick resolution. Israeli maximalist goals face structural obstacles. Iran has options to sustain pressure without full-scale war. The real question is whether both sides are willing to hit the brakes after round one. What matters now isn't the next missile strike. It's the next diplomatic signal. Wars aren't won by ordnance alone. They're shaped by political judgment under pressure.